three car makers in the US who wrote a paper. And at the time, OMAC stood for Open Modular Architecture Controls. So you heard modular today, you heard about standards. This goes back a long time to get where we're at today. And back then, a device network was not suitable for motion. A motion network was not suitable for logic control. Ethernet was in its infancy in industrial control. So as this group moved along, the one thing that the large consumer packaged goods companies realized is this technology is a little different. And so in 1999, we decided, shall we start a packaging work group within OMAC? Because the framework was perfect for this. And we said yes, and companies like Hershey Chocolate, Unilever, Procter & Gamble, all became involved. And they came up with OMAC guidelines where standards existed, they endorsed the standards. So all of the IEC networks were part of the standards, part of the guidelines. The IEC 61131 languages. And then examples were produced to show how it could be modular. So we moved ahead, and today we're going to find out that OMAC is coming to the rest of the world. It's going to be coming to Interpack in Dusseldorf in May. OMAC had become part of the ISA, the International Society for Automation, for a time. It's now independent again. So we're becoming active after a year of reorganizing, kind of restructuring it as a business model. And now we're going to start to produce new initiatives. So starting this year, hopefully we'll hear some ideas tomorrow from Brian Griffin of Nestle. We're going to start to see more activity, and we wanted you to hear about it first. Big thing happened this year, two very important things. The PMMI is the Packaging Machinery Manufacturers Institute. It is the Association for Packaging Machinery in the US. They've been supportive of the packaging work group for a long time. But as we became independent, they have decided to officially provide support. And this is really important because this group is technologists. They're not people who would want to organize meetings and set up workshops and all of that. They're the people who would run those workshops. So we now have a good mix of the business organization and the technologists moving the standards ahead. This allows us to focus on the next wave of standards and of adopting standards that already exist. The ones that you haven't heard of because we haven't gotten the word out properly. The other big thing that happened this year at the annual meeting of OMAC was for Nestle to take a leadership position. So Brian Griffin, who's the global electrical and automation manager for Nestle, is going to become the chair of the OMAC packaging work group. This is important for two reasons. One is he's got the vision, the drive, and he knows how this is going to improve Nestle's business. The second thing is because Nestle is not just the largest food company in the world, but one of the strongest of European-based multinationals, we will see OMAC guidelines start to filter through every continent where they operate. You will see, and I'm hoping that you will all attend, a press conference at Interpack, opening day, the opening hour at 10 a.m., in which we will hear both from Brian and from another board director, Rob Alexa, who's a section head for automation at Procter & Gamble. And they are going to talk about their experience with an OMAC standard called PackML. We're also going to find that the initiatives that we've started are going to come to Europe. The PackML World Tour took place because some machine builders who had adopted the standard were finding that at the plant level people didn't understand it and they were taking it back out of the specification. So they came to us through PMMI and OMAC together and said, we will go out to end users. You've done a very good job of explaining the technology, but we can explain the business benefits to the people who own the profit and loss, to the business unit managers. And so we've taken 2 of these tours so far, one to P&G Beauty Care, and one to Church & Dwight, which is the brand owner of Arm & Hammer, which is a large personal and home care provider in the US. Nestle will host the first leg of the European tour, and you're probably wondering what all this is about. This is PackML. It's very simple. What it really means is the state model for a machine should be identical regardless of the manufacturer or the control supplier. So there are a number of modes: automatic, manual, semi-automatic. There are a number of states that the machine goes through, and there are also data acquisition points. They should all be the same, and if they are, it allows people to do a much better job of synchronizing lines, of communicating upward to management systems, and to doing important new initiatives like overall equipment effectiveness, or OEE. If you can't get consistent data out, you can't measure process. The main message I would like to leave with you is that more than anything, we need your help to get the word out about this. These are platform-independent standards. These are initiatives that end users are asking for, but we need to be able to communicate both to users around the world as well as the automation and machine suppliers. That these things are going to make their lives easier, they're going to save money, they're going to make processes more efficient. The next places that you will see the OMAC packaging people, if you come to Chicago, the Packaging Automation Forum in April, Brian Griffin will be one of the speakers. We're also holding a PackML workshop for people who want to implement it the day before that forum. And we'll also be talking about the world tour and inviting people to get on board there. At Pack Expo in Las Vegas, we'll again have a strong OMAC presence. We have had consistently for a number of years a booth that's informational, meetings, workshops. So if you come to Pack Expo this year, we hope that you will join in the OMAC activities. And last but not least, we will be hearing more from European machine builders getting on board with PackML. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I think